The K-Weld battery spot welder is described as a next level battery spot welder. The design of this tool is quite unique in that it measures the total energy delivered into the weld to determine when to stop the pulse. This is in contrast to most other spot welders which use a simple timer. This, combined with high quality electronic components and a large capacitor bank, produces high quality and consistent welds. The K-Weld system is only designed to weld nickel and nickel plated strips together or onto battery cells. Please do not attempt to use this system for any other purpose without prior consent from one of the maintainers. The K-Weld system is made out of 5 main components. These include the power supply, K-supply charger, K-cap capacitor bank, K-Weld electronic module, and electrodes. You'll see that these parts are connected using very thick silicon wire. This is because the system deals with a huge amount of energy, approximately 10 kilowatts on average per weld. The HP power supply is a server grade 1 kilowatt power supply. It's designed to convert mains voltages into 12 volts at large currents of up to 75 amps. This is fed through the K-supply charger to ensure that the K-cap capacitor bank is charged at the correct voltage. During normal use, the K-supply will keep the capacitor bank topped up and you will hear this cycle on and off as needed. The K-cap capacitor bank has a number of large capacitors capable of discharging the extremely high currents required to spot weld. The capacitor bank directly feeds the main K-Weld module, which is responsible for managing the welding pulses. The K-Weld module controls how long the capacitor bank is being discharged through the electrodes and into the spot weld. It can also detect if a weld was successful or not based on the current delivered, resistance of the weld, and other parameters. There are a number of important steps that must be completed before every use of the K-Weld system and before it is switched on. You should check that the K-supply is securely seated on the end of the HP power supply. Check that all connections made by red wires are securely fastened and that none are loose. Loose connections have higher resistance and can cause arcing or damage to components of the system. Check all of the capacitors in the K-cap module for any signs of damage, including swelling, leaking, or signs of being burnt out. Check the electrodes and electrode holders for damage. They should be clean and have no obvious signs of burning or arcing. If you find any problems, please check with a listed maintainer before continuing. After you have completed the before every use checklist, you can power on the K-Weld by turning the switch on at the wall. You will hear the HP power supply fan spin up as the K-supply charges up the capacitor bank. This will normally take about 20 to 30 seconds. You should wait at least 10 seconds after powering on the system before making a weld so that it has had enough time to charge up the capacitor bank. Once you are ready to attempt a weld, the first thing you need to do is set the weld energy. This is measured in joules, and as a rough guide, you should use 20 joules for 0.1mm strip, 50 joules for 0.2mm strip, and 100 joules for 0.3mm strip. Your exact material may be slightly different, so you may need to play with these numbers to get good results. However, they should give you a good starting point. To set the energy, you simply turn the dial on the K-Weld module until you see the desired energy on the screen. Once you have set the weld energy, you can begin your weld. First, place the 2 copper electrodes about 5mm apart on the piece that you want to weld. Firmly press the electrodes into the material at a slight angle, then press and hold your foot on the pedal. You may see some sparks and the K-Weld module screen will dim. This is normal. The K-Weld module will deliver the specified amount of energy into the weld. You will then hear audible feedback on the status of the weld. One short beep means it was successful. A higher tone followed by a lower tone signals that something went wrong. If you hear the 2 tones, you should check the energy settings and electrode placement and try your weld again. After a weld, for as long as you keep holding your foot down on the pedal, the K-Weld unit will cycle through various items on the screen. There is also a copy of this documentation located next to the K-Weld system. There are 8 possible values that represent the status of a weld. Generally, you should only ever see OK or Spot R. You should now have completed a successful weld and you are ready to continue with additional welds. The K-Weld module also has an automatic mode. This induction does not cover this as there are additional safety concerns that need to be discussed in person. If you'd like to learn how to use the automatic mode, please reach out to a listed maintainer. The automatic mode simply means that you do not need to press the foot pedal in to initiate a weld. We generally recommend that people stick with the manual mode so that you can control exactly when a weld should start. When you are finished using the K-Weld system, you must complete the following tasks. Wipe down the electrodes with a piece of paper towel to remove any excess buildup. Turn off the system at the wall. Please note that the capacitor bank will still hold some charge and the screen will still stay lit. This is normal and the system will turn off after a few hours once the capacitor bank has been depleted. Return the foot pedal to the bench and tidy up the cable. Due to the extremely high level of electrical power, the K-Weld can generate significant magnetic fields and electromagnetic interference. The K-Weld system must not be used near anyone with a device that is sensitive to magnetic fields or strong electromagnetic interference, such as a pacemaker. Finally, if you are ever in doubt about any part of using the K-Weld system, you should stop what you are doing and seek assistance from a listed maintainer or the electronics cause. The K-Weld system is highly capable, but can be easily damaged or cause significant personal injury if used incorrectly. Thanks for watching the HSBNE Inc. K-Weld induction video. You should now complete the safety quiz and book in a time with a listed maintainer to get signed off on the in-person part of this induction. The in-person part of this safety induction will ask you a few simple questions to confirm your understanding of the material in this video.